Hi you, King here, and today we'll be talking about the Seven Havens, Episode 1, The Lava Haven. But before we start, I just want to explain that this is a video series that I'm going to be doing about each of the Seven Havens, basically theorizing on what they'll be like. And because they were formed after a worldwide cataclysm, I believe that the global disaster had to be earthquake related. And who's the most likely to survive an earthquake? Earthbenders. And they wouldn't just survive, but thrive. That's why I believe that benders who were lucky enough to survive the cataclysm that was an earthbenders would flock to these different havens that were set up by different types of earthbenders. And because I want to start it off hot, I'm starting with the lava haven that's primarily made up of lava benders. But again, before we get started, I would very much appreciate it if you could just take a moment to hit that like button, as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Comment down below your thoughts and theories on the new Avatar series coming up, Avatar The Seven Havens, and ring that notification bell if you're an Avatar fan so you know first when Avatar content like this drops. But without further ado, let's get started. With first up, the environment. I believe the settlement for the lava haven would be placed right next to active volcanoes, with the founders of this haven primarily being made up of lava benders, fire benders, and combustion benders, all who would primarily benefit from being near an intensely hot environment, with everyone else in the haven being non-benders, of course, but being primarily made up of people who survived from the Fire Nation and the Earth Kingdom. And I would figure that there would be fewer lava benders and combustion benders than there would be fire benders in that haven, especially because those two sub-bending are already super rare and unique within the fire and earth bending type. But because of how powerful those two sub-bending types are, regardless of that fact, you would still have the abundance of firebenders following the orders of the combustion benders and lava benders, especially because the lava benders are primarily responsible for not just making the haven, but founding it as well. As for how this haven could interact with the other havens, I believe they would all have somewhat of a symbiotic relationship with one another, being, separated in different parts of the world, but still being able to interact with one another through being of use to each other. Specifically for this video, I could see the lava haven having a heat forge that they use to forge materials and weaponry that they can then ship off to the other havens for them to use for a wide range of purposes, such as for their architecture, buildings, for military purposes, and even for their daily lives, like kitchen utensils or bikes or whatever. Basically, like having the lava haven be an entire city of blacksmiths. As for how their government could run in the lava haven, I could see non-benders primarily being either shippers, which is a title I came up for people who brace the elements outside of the havens to ship goods and products to each of the havens, or specifically for the lava haven, blacksmiths, going into creating materials to be shipped off to each of the other havens. And I could see firebenders as basically being police officers for the lava haven, as they would be in charge of keeping the peace while enforcing the laws of the lava haven, since there are so many of them. As for the combustion benders, I could see them not only being the gate guards for this haven, blowing up anyone that isn't given an invitation to come to the lava haven, but I could also see them being the head collectors for materials for the heat forge, since they'll be able to use their combustion bending to blow up rocks and earth to have the non-benders collect the materials from them. As for the lava benders, I could see them not just being in charge of the entire lava haven, but also being the ones that mainly power the heat forge and is responsible for keeping it running, since they can turn ordinary earth into lava and vice versa as instantly as a person can blink. And I could also see them being responsible for making sure that the active volcanoes that the settlement of the lava haven is next to stays active, while also making sure it doesn't erupt and basically Pompeii's everyone in the haven. And yeah, the lava haven being, made and founded by the lava benders, but primarily having firebenders just makes a lot of sense to me, because firebenders draw their powers from heat, so they're naturally inclined to migrate to areas that can produce a lot of heat, which is why the Fire Nation on the Fire Islands is primarily made up of volcanoes. It's because it's just giving them a natural boost in power. And yeah, through this system, you could even have some political dramas where in maybe an episode or two, we could have some firebenders want to rebel against the lava benders and take control over the lava haven, believing that they should be on top since there's more of them. And this could be a problem that the new Avatar would have to help with to prove that she isn't a nuisance or a destroyer, but a savior and the one to keep the balance and make sure that the Lava Haven, doesn't end up destroying itself. But those were just my theories and thoughts. Please comment down below what you thought of them, as well as comment down below your theories on what each of the Havens could be. Ring that notification bell if you are an Avatar fan and enjoyed this video, so you would know first when I drop the 6 other Avatar the Seven Haven videos that I'll be making, explaining who could found them and what they could, be like, how they would run. Again, please like, share, subscribe, and follow on all platforms, as I will be posting this video on not just my YouTube channel, King of Theories, but also my TikTok channel of the same name. And yeah, thank you for watching this video up until this point. Until the next Avatar the Seven Haven video, stay great.